Okay, so in today's video, we're gonna try the EVO II in log. I put together a cinematic clip that I color graded. I also used a LUT because I wanted to see what this drone could do if you used log. So stick around. What's good, guys? Welcome back. Ken here. You're watching Original Dobo. Channel's all about drone and tech. Today we're talking about the EVO II log footage. So I've long been a fan of D-Log on the Mavic series, and I've really liked the EVO I log footage. I felt it was definitely a step up above the X-Star, the previous generation. So when the EVO II was announced, I was really excited to see how they improved the log format, if they made it a little bit better, enhanced the dynamic range, made it easier to work with. So I was curious to try it out, and today the weather finally improved, so I got a chance to take it out to the beach, a spot where I've done numerous videos, which is a primary reason why I do this, so you can go back and look at the channel and compare it to previous videos I've done with other drones to see how this footage stacks. So right out of the gate, I'll just say, give me a break with the color grade because this is very hard. This entire video is in 8K 24 frames per second. Except for this talk in headshot, I'm taking 4K and upscaling it to 8K. First time I've ever uploaded in 8K. Don't expect it often because it is a very, very taxing process. So right out of the gate, I will say that the EVO II log footage, at least the 8K footage, is very, very, very difficult to deal with. You have 8K. On top of that, the codec to get 10-bit has to be H.265, which just brings a computer to its absolute knees. It was very difficult to edit, and it was very difficult to color grade. I'll actually show you towards the end some of the clips and what I had to do to them just to get them to the point that they are in, that you see. The EVO II log footage is incredibly desaturated. At first glance, I would say you'd probably just be better served not utilizing log. Another thing I did notice is that the dynamic range does seem to stumble a little bit, so hopefully it's something that Autel can address, maybe via software. I think that the log profile is just super, super flat. You're definitely going to need a technical LUT. So what I'm going to do, because Autel didn't provide technical LUTs for the EVO I. I know they put out log LUTs, but those don't bring the footage back to Rec. 709. So a technical LUT will get you back to a good base so you can color grade. So what I'm going to do is I'm putting together a true technical LUT that will bring the EVO II footage back to a Rec. 709 color space. When that's ready, I'll go ahead and post a link for it so you guys that buy an EVO II can download it. But with that being said, here's the EVO II footage. Like I said, I'm not really 100% sure on the color grade. I tried to make it as cinematic and sort of stylistic to my taste, but color is always going to be up to the artist. Okay, so now that you've seen the footage, let me show you some of the raw clips, what they look like before I got them to where they are right now. So here's a shot of that top down of that pond. It's not really a pond. Usually you can find manatee in there, but as you can see, it's incredibly washed out. Now, one of the benefits to utilizing 10-bit is that you can easily push the colors around without worrying about banding or really too much of a degradation in the file. So what I did was I used an HSL slider to highlight the greens that I wanted, and I was able to push those colors more towards a true green. Just with the base color grade, you weren't able to do it, so you definitely needed to utilize HSL sliders. So if you're not familiar or advanced that far along in your color grading techniques, you may want to practice a little bit before you go shoot a whole video with this drone. The next clip I took was a scene where it was pretty contrasty. The sun was sort of causing some issues, and I was able to push the highlights down and recover a good amount of detail. Not a tremendous amount was actually lost in either the shadows or the actual highlights themselves, so I thought that was pretty good. Again, we're dealing with 8K files that are only 100 megabits, so you still will only be able to push it so far, given the fact that the data that's there isn't a tremendous amount, so bear that in mind. I think for all intensive purposes, it's probably going to be better suited that you just stick with 4K or even 6K file sizes, because I think when you step up to 8K, you're actually losing more than you're gaining. I know it's the whole selling point that you have 8K there, but it's going to be more of a utility to use sometimes and not all the time. So I'm going to do another test with this, but I'm going to focus more on the 4K 60 since that's what a lot of you are really used to with the EVO I, and we'll see what that does. I'm actually taking it into the city, like the heart of the city. I'm not gonna fly around and pussyfoot around the city. I'm going right into the fucking city. We're gonna fly and see what the controller can do and if we have any noise. Again, everything's gonna be totally legal, of course, but I wanna see if we can get some decent footage from within the city of Tampa. So there you go. Let me know what you think in the comments, and if there's anything that you wanna see, let me know. Behind me sits this is going to be the next thing up to deck, which is the Skydio 2, because a lot of you are curious whether or not the obstacle avoidance is on par with the Skydio. If it's not, how far behind is it? So we'll take a look at these two and compare the obstacle avoidance. So that's definitely on my to-do. I've got a lot of filming to do, so I guess I need to shut up and start doing it. We'll see you next time. Stay original.